So I was recently down in Phuket to send the family off for a few weeks, coinciding with the annual Veg Fest, vegetarian festival as many know it, but it's actually Chinese, Thai Chinese style vegan, because they don't consume any animal products. So then I boarded a bus northbound so I can visit my land for the long weekend. And this is an update from the Tri-Cove City. Here I am on the bus getting ready to board near Kirikan, so in the Tri-Cove City, and I'm going to head to my land via the back way once I get off this bus, traverse through the jungle, and yeah, it was about 8 hours, I'd say 10 hours actually. Deboarded the bus here north of Kirikan, and I'm on the Asia Highway. I've got to make a crossing. It's a pretty dangerous highway there, north-southbound, that connects much of the Thailand-Malaysia peninsula. And yeah, so I'll make a crossing, and then I'm going to head into the jungle. And all right, made good timing. A little bit after 4. We've got to head into the land, take the back jungle path through the jungle. Waterlogged. There's been some raining here, so yeah. Not so shady for this path. I've walked it plenty of times. So here we are, path in my jungle. Someone they use these mounds to make ash, basically carbon, for different purposes. You know, carbon can be used for agriculture and other applications. Local lady, you know, does that. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to just be on the camera here while I walk through the jungle. Obviously, gotta have my wits about me. Oh, look at that. Is it a magic mushroom? Well, I don't know. It's growing out of shit. It might be. So anybody who knows if that's a magic mushroom, probably don't want to, just in case it's poisonous. But I'll let you look at the bottom of that there. So anybody who knows, kind of got a brown tip. Is it psychedelic or not? I'm not craving for shrooms, so I'm not gonna take the risk, but at least I'll know. Anybody who's got knowledge on that, let me know. So going through the jungle here, for the path to the neighborhood. I'm gonna see you at the place then. Get some cuttings of some Neem Tree back here. I know there's a little colony around here somewhere. There's lots of neem colonies, as in the tree. See if I can point one out, if I spot it. I don't remember where it was. It's got like a reddish bark. Be around here. This looks like it. This is a neem tree here. Looking so healthy. I'll see if I see any saplings around here that might. Is that part of it? I'm not sure. That's definitely likely a neem sapling there. I can come and dig it out, replant it on the land. It's on the road here. There's the big full version of it. Yeah, come back for that later. Posts. Somebody's got some land up here. That's my land. Waterlogged back here. And moats are filled up. Need to dig them out, huh? Widen them. Time to dig is this season. So, gate. Everything else is looking how we left it, more or less. Ooh, muddy, muddy, muddy. Ooh, muddy, muddy, muddy. Don't want to fall on my ass here. So yeah, all's good. All is good. All right, let's set up shop and set up camp. So yeah, it's been pretty damp, rainy, and I'm up to this right now. I started getting this, got this welded on yesterday, and it started pouring. Had to collect all my tools. Of course, this is collecting rust and stuff all the while. So it's just really miserable to try to work in rainy weather. But got up this morning and around 6 or so, and it's not raining, but it could rain any minute. I wouldn't say any minute, any time now. But yeah, I gotta finish this. So right now I'm gonna brace this bottom support here. It's just being held by magnets and by tension from the legs, and then of course I'm gonna weld it on, and then gotta sand it down and get it waterproof as much as possible. Then I gotta get the top All right, so tonight it finally stopped raining, and I need to take advantage of this I don't know when it's going to rain again, but I need to properly seal this wood. I had put a coat of acrylic on it right before it started raining, so I don't think it was properly cured or dried. But anyway, it's been raining throughout the whole day, so now we're just going to have to yeah, sort that out. I'm gonna wipe it down, make it dry as possible. Hopefully it doesn't rain for an hour or 2 hours. Let it dry and cure. It's acrylic waterproof for this wood on this deck outcropping that I've been working on these last few days. And I don't know how much you can see in this lighting, but yeah, just kind of hold you there. But yeah, as you can see, did the whole welding. I even had to reinforce it in the middle. You can see the screws are there. It's another bar that's welded on there. All galvanized, protected with a layer of zinc, coating of zinc. But anyway, yeah, that should keep it waterproof. But the wood there, on the other hand, gotta add this acrylic. But anyway, I'm gonna get to work now. Alright, so I got a haircut the other day. I don't know, I think I look a lot more older with a haircut. Bring out my wrinkles. Anyway, just was about to, well, we've got a window of no rain. It could rain any minute, to be honest, but I gotta try to get another coat of acrylic on this before I go today. another point I wanted to make out, see during the day, is, you know, when you're coming to your land and you're in any kind of jungle spot, sometimes the jungle will start overgrowing. If you know, the less you're there, and the weeds will come up and all these different trees, and the whole ecosystem just goes wild when it starts rainy season here, which is contrast to the dry season, you know, the early half of the year, circa December, January, February, March, where it doesn't rain for weeks on end, even months on end. So it's two different ecosystems here. But once the rains really start coming, they come a little bit in May, a little bit in July, but really October is Bretjup's historic wet month, and so the whole jungle is just overgrown. But you know, having to do work, I realized the energy of the jungle just like gets in your way. There's weeds everywhere, so you end up, in order to concentrate your energy better on whatever task you're doing, you got to make clear path to the jungle, to put it real simple. But yeah, and just have a walkway where your energy is not being distracted by this weed or that weed, and you have to circumnavigate certain areas that you usually would get to. That said, I mean, there's so much weed work and jungle work I don't even have time to get to. But yeah, this whole jungle back here is just overgrown here, and but I just kind of fend it off and slowly make my work area better, a little more usable. The main task this weekend was getting on this, but like I said, I've got to stop talking and get on with the acrylic coating, waterproofing of this wood here. See if you can see me work there. Okay, basically what I'm using is this stuff here. If you can see it there, it's acrylic water coat. So it's just an layer of acrylic, clear acrylic, and I'm gonna get it sorted. Hopefully it can dry before any rain comes, but you never know. So basically got to put in this can here. Already wiped it off down. Just as much as I can before any rains come. You're really supposed to put 3 coats of this stuff on. I've got a coat on before, but it started to rain, and so some of it really didn't cure or dry. It started peeling off. It rained all yesterday evening, but I'm just gonna go at it again here. Idea is I don't want this wood to rot. The more I can preserve it, the better. I already put a coating of wood preservative, which is good for fungus and termites, before I installed this, and so that was cured and dried by the time I installed this. The best here. Now that I got it all waterproofed, put together, now for the weight test, to see if it's durable enough. I've got the center support bar in the middle to distribute the weight, but there are some soft points in between the steel bars, but should be pretty solid. Walking around there putting some weight, as long as I don't like jump straight down, cause a stress point in the middle, but any braced part should be strong enough to hold. It's really just, it's not meant to, you know, be jumped on or stood on for long periods anyway, so it should be okay, assuming the waterproof is done properly. And here in the shack in the back, I've got this bucket collecting rain, and just update on some of the trees here, like a wild cherry tree, a tropical cherry tree of some type. Can't tell you exactly what type of cherry right now. And here is a few avocado saplings that are doing just fine with this current weather in the shack in the back. Of course, if I put it out about during the dry season, it won't do so well, but let's see. We've got some gok melon vines on top there, and just enough opening to let some of the water drain down into the bucket in the shack in the back, which I can use for showers and cleaning off, walking around in the mud. go get this neem tree. See if I can get it. Sapling. Maybe deeply rooted, we'll find out. But it looked like it was doable, especially with the soft ground. Orange flowers in bloom. Looks like it's alternate pinnet, single pinnet. But the branches seem to be coming in a paired compound, paired pinnet or whorl. But anyway, those are the beautiful flowers there. Wild, I guess. Alright, so where is that? This looks like at the cope tile like I got on my land already. This might actually be our neem. Let's have a quick look real quick. Alright, so found our neem sapling right here. Here's a bigger neem tree. It's roughly about, easily 3 meters. 4 meters, about 4 meters, pushing 4 meters. Not the higher one up the crowning of there. It actually could be a neem if I look at the leaflets up there, the pinnet, bipinnet compound, even pinnet compound. Looks like the neem is actually up there in the 5 or 6 meter high, but there's some saplings, some runners. See if it's independent of the mother root system. We'll find out. Okay, managed to dig out a few saplings. Hopefully I didn't damage the root. They were pretty stuck on a mother root, so yeah, but it should survive. I'll go get it back in the shack in the back and put some water on it. But yeah, just around the land there's all this interesting little paths, jungle paths. I've never been down this before, so it's the first for me. Really damp in here. Wow, look at what these trees naturally do. I don't know if you can see. Create this natural tunnel. They're thorny, so you got to be careful. You just get low so I don't get scratched up. And then you just come into this opening. This is all private property, of course, but nobody utilizes this land except local wanderers and cows. But yeah, it's all land adjacent to me. Unutilized, but yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll sell it. They're not using it, so pay enough tax on it. They'll be like, forget this. Anybody want to buy it? So I know it's swampy on the other side, pretty low lying, so a lot of egrets, and that type of migratory bird utilizes this for a good part of the year. And which way did I come? Which way can I go? Jungle path. Well, we got to go get our tree, so we got to go back the same way. Nice little interesting walk through here. I say that there's. All right, let's be diligent. Mushrooms going on in there. No idea if they're magic or not. They may be. So anybody who knows, let me know. Some growing in here in the forest, but I'm not into shrooms, so wait for someone who's just as excited about that to come and engage me here. I'll show you where this is. Stepped on a little thorn there. All right, let's get back to the land, get this sorted. Right, we've got it in there, and it's elevated, and so any overflow from heavy rains this month, which there shall be on and on, will overflow into here. I've given it a nice water down already, so it's definitely absorbed a lot of water in the soil right now. So we'll just let that tree try to survive on capillary effect to get that water up there and create some new shoot roots And then once, establish a nice root base from this little sapling, then we'll think about repotting or replanting somewhere. But yeah, the neem tree has a lot of benefits for making natural pesticides and soap and such. So yeah, we'll hopefully get that going. As far as other trees, we got the avocado there. I'll say elevated there. There's 3 or 4 or 5 of them. They're looking for the sun, so they're still alive. The roots were probably too saturated earlier, so I lifted it up and let the capillary effect get in to create the strong root system. And we're just collecting water out here. I'm going to take a shower before I go here, but we just point out some other observations on trees. This is a type of cassia. I'm pretty sure it's a cassia. I remember the flowers are yellow, and so with this bipinnate even compound pattern and yellow flowers, it narrows it down to a good chance of being a cassia. I'm not sure if it's a American cassia, which is possible because those grow to be about 7 meters, and this is not that high. It looks like it could go up that high. It's a strong trunk, or more than likely, because where we're at, it's a Cassia CMI, which is in Thai would be Kilek Yai. So the other one, the Cassia, what's the actual scientific? The American Cassia. It's called actually I've got it right here. It's called Cassia Spectabilis. So it grows up to 7 meters, and it's also known as Sena Spectabilis. So Spectabilis, Kilek American, but I suspect it probably has a higher chance of being Cassia CMI. I can't tell without the flowers. The flowers, that will require further study once it blooms, but it should bloom around November, October, December. Last time it bloomed, it was about half this size last year. So let's see its blooms now. It's slowly starting to get buds here. Let me see if I can get a close-up. Any of these buds. Yeah, it's too early to see. They got petals coming out. You've got the organs starting to develop, but they're not proper flowers. Give it a month or 2 months. But the leaves here had to absorb something. So maybe some dirt, something in the soil, or to the fact that it's just been dry earlier until the last few months the rains came back. And the other type of tree I can start to begin, a local tree that grows here naturally is the idea, is this type of, it's like a wild cherry, in Thai call it the cope, I believe. The cope Thai, it could be the cope nok, which are 2 different species, but Mantingia Korabura, I think that's the name of it. Kolabura. Mantingia Kolabura. The cope. And so, but I just judging from an explanation and a picture that showed a similar flower with 5 petals. So this is distinct, and it's white. Those little, I don't know how good you can see, but the white flowers there, that they have 5 petals every single flower, and then you've got your stamen and pistillate in there, and then they ultimately bloom into these little cherries. I believe are eatable. The birds like to eat them. But I got to be sure about this. See, this one's actually coming up like odd shape there. But they ultimately are all round like this. And so I believe it's at the cope. Mantingia Kolabura. And then, of course, the biggest tree on here, I'm not sure exactly what that is. I have to study it further. It looks like, as far as the leaf pattern goes, I was told that the wood, it can be used for many purposes. So they like to cut them down. But yeah, I have to figure out exactly what this, I couldn't tell you right now, but we can tell by the pattern now. It's got almost a whorl pattern. It's like triplets. They all grow from each level. So, well, some of them are just pairs here. Some of them have triplets, kind of like a whorl pattern. So these types of oval leaves, forgive me if I'm not using the correct horticulture terms, but I'll be studying them. And of course, pests like to eat the leaves of these ones year-round, I've noticed. But it seems to be doing strong in the rain season. Pests aren't really getting much of the bulk of the leaves like they do during the dry season. But yeah, these have got deep roots in this land for sure. So I'm going to figure out what they are. We've got this kind of leafy vine that's growing along it. It's pretty, I wonder if they're symbiotic, have a symbiotic relationship. Anyway, got to wrap up and take a long trip home, but I just wanted to show you on the land here. Still got to wrap those up. Hopefully we'll do that before it rains, but let me finish this podcast. So yeah, keeping the land irrigated, getting that water to soak in the soil, make it good soil. because it really starts to shine this time of year when the water comes. You can see on yonder, it's muddy on the path there that people use, motorbikes and side carts, but it's pretty muddy for them to navigate, which is good as well. So I've done some digging over here, extended this here, which I reckon the width over there about 60-70 centimeters wider. I'm going to go all the way back eventually and perhaps cut an island out of here, just really fortify an island right here, and then have traversing path, and of course reserve the back and the center for any kind of future house construction. But for now, I think an island would be good because I could really use that for agriculture purposes. These mulches, mulched berms, basically fortified against the water. And of course, you have banks. You create banks, and you create rich soil down to the banks, so all the metals fall and sink down into the floor bed, and then theoretically you get really eco-rich, nutrient-rich banks that you can plant trees and different types of perennial plants, and then have an island. Of course, but I probably would dig a tunnel to this to connect it right here. Bring a tunnel out there and then go strictly around there. A lot of those are weeds. They're a thorny bush, which I don't necessarily need, or I'm not ready to identify yet, but most likely we're going to take anything now I'm out, because obviously, unless it's got really big function, but then I'll utilize it for that. But next dry season, we're going to burn it all out here, create a really nice layer of carbon, nice layer of carbon from the burnt material. So yeah, we can definitely enrich the island here. That's what I'm thinking here. Of course, it would mean that it wouldn't be easy to get a big truck for a big construction, pre-made prefab construction here. Well, you could technically theoretically bring a truck into here and angle it, back it up, just so you can, with a crane, place something back here. That's what I'll probably do. And if anything, this will just be widen the little moat back here. Maybe make a pool here, depending how much room we've got here, just to further fortify it, and of course dig out this here. But right now it's natural guard. All these weeds in here are natural guard, so it deters people who might get too nosy, and if they really get nosy, they can make it in there. But for now, until we have a proper fence and gate, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this rope here this time, just see if there's still a thief on about who would go through the trouble to unconnect the rope, and the time it would take to steal it. It's 180 baht, so it's worth it. I'm not going to be like, it'll be easier next time. But if I figure if someone steals it, then it'll be good. People most likely will steal it, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They will have to take an effort to do it. It won't just be a quick. These stakes, on the other hand, be a quick grab. Someone who just jumps over here, stakes them, and then they'll have to walk, secretly together. But the rope, they would have to spend a good 10-15 minutes out here. They might do it in the dark. But then, of course, you've got the critters that have to watch their back. But anyway, yeah, so did some digging and fortifying the land over here. Just gonna make sure it's elevated here. So we've got this stake here, this line here. It's not cemented or anything, but it's deep down in there. That's where the second marker there. And this is lower lying, so some of the water on that side of the land is all accumulating here. Just want to make sure we're good. And it's it's about 1 meter deep over there, only about 50-60 centimeters deep around here. We'll slowly dig it out, especially towards the end of the rainy season when it's dry, or towards the middle of the dry season where it's still a little bit damp enough to dig, but it's dried out enough that we can get down in there and get out sizable pieces of dirt to excavate over here. So that's the plan, Stan. All right. Yes, an island around here. It'll make it a very fertile island. It'll be fertility. You can have maybe a little sala or something for barbecue, a little platform on the island. And once they get more water for fish. And I've got to do this, and I've got to get going. Okay, that's it. Good 10 minutes talk.